And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel. Today we're taking a look at a game called The Game of Wolf. Choose your pack wisely. This is a trivia game. Now here's the deal. And when you play a trivia game, one person knows everything. There's one person who doesn't know much of anything at all. And you might say, that's me. Maybe. In this game, you are trying to see how much you might know on your own. Or if you don't know the stuff on your own, then pick someone else to join you. So this is a game that's 4 to 12 players. So you need at least 4 players to play it properly, because in this game you're going to be always splitting up into teams. Maybe it's one person versus everybody else, but it might be 2 people versus everybody else. Here's how it plays. In this game, on a player's turn, they're going to have the person next to them. They're going to take a box of cards that is going to have a bunch of questions and answers in them. That person's going to read them just the subject title, like athlete owners or cities and song. So you're going to hear just the subject. Then you're going to decide whether you're going to play as a pack. You're going to pick one other person at the table who you think is knowledgeable in that subject, or you can play as the lone wolf. Then once we do that, so let's say I play as a lone wolf. I'm by myself and I'll take one answer card, and everyone else is on a team against me. If I pick one person, then me and that person are a team and everyone else is against us. Once we do that, the questions are read to each person. So the cities for song. So name the city in each of these songs. Where Alicia Keys in Concrete Jungles, Where Dreams Are Made Of. The south side of the city, where Journey City Boy is born and raised. Where Mark Cohn walks 10 feet off the Beale. The corner in Arizona where the Eagles take it easy. The place where Johnny Cash shot a man just to watch him die. There's also a tiebreaker, how many cities are named by Nelly and Country Grammar. So you have these. Everyone's going to write down their answers. They're going to do the responses. Then you'll turn over and see what the answers are. New York, Detroit, Memphis, Winslow, Reno. And the tiebreaker, which is only needed if both teams have the same number of answers, is 11 cities. All right, so then it's the closest to the tiebreaker will win the tie. And if the lone wolf wins, they're going to get a certain number of points depending what round it is. Here, I'll just show you in the rules. The lone wolf can get a whole lot of points. A pack of people will get 1, 2, or 4. And if the lone wolf loses, if you're pretty arrogant to think you'll win by yourself, you will lose points. So in the round 3, the lone wolf, the difference between them winning and losing is a difference of 12 points, which is quite a bit. So that's pretty much the whole game there. You're just going to play for multiple rounds. Everyone's going to get to be the wolf 3 times, and whoever has the most points after that, as kept on the scorecard, is the winner. The game comes in a box like this where you're going to put the cards in. You get a couple markers here with erasers, which work fine so far. You have these boxes here which have the wolf on the front and something on the back. The cards are pretty easy. They do a pretty good job of mixing, pop culture with actual, pop culture, Forrest Gump, and historic comebacks. So history and pop culture and science. Some of them even have pictures on them. Let's see if I can find one. Like here, name the gems depicted below, or name the zodiac sign depicted below, or name the fruit depicted below. That one doesn't seem that hard. Anyhow, so they have a pretty good selection of questions. And the tiebreakers, they did a pretty good job picking things that most people simply aren't going to know. Now, I should mention that if you're playing with 6 or more players, then you can pick 2 people to be on your team. The game itself is a little unclear as to, how it's logistically possible. For example, I said 4 to 12 players, that if you pick 2 people, one other person, how the other 10 people are supposed to all gather around a table. Logistically, there's some difficulties there. If you're like, hey, Bob, I want you on my team. Jeanette, I want you on my team. Bob and Jeanette can come join me. Everyone else is kind of gathering around and trying to whisper to each other as much as possible. It's okay, right? It's not like it's the end of the world, but you're going to not probably play this around a table. This is a game to be played in a living room where people are going to be able to move around a little bit to work with each other. The questions are well done. The game is well designed. It works. It's not one I want to play all the time because it literally is just straight trivia, although it gives me a pool of questions to pull from and for different trivia game shows and things. But it's really just trying to guess who's smart at something. And the fact is, if someone does know a lot about a subject, they're going to get picked to be on people's teams so that that person can get points, which in turn gives them points. The idea is interesting. It feels fun. It's one of those party games that at the end of the game, it doesn't matter who won. I think everyone will have a good time. As you're just all looking at the thing saying, how many of these do I know? And it feels good to maybe know one of them that no one else happened to know, especially when you're on a team working together. Obviously, with teams game, this can lead to some debate. This is the right answer. No, this is the right answer. Blah, 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 blah. But I enjoy it quite that goings on, go back and forth. So not maybe the best party game that I played, but it's a decent one. The Game of Wolf. Ow! Dice Tower Judgment, entertaining game of trivia.